jina naitwa Mama Wangoi, but ile kwa ID, ile government inajua ni Nairobi. I was given this opportunity by Jennifer. She called me, I think 2 days ago, and told me that she would want me to say something about my daughter, who has been a very big beneficiary of this school. In 2017, a young girl was born at 30 weeks. For all mothers, you know 30 weeks is pretty small. She was born at 1 kg, and we had a very long hospital stay. And of course, with preterm babies, first of all, by the time unatoka kusi, because she has to be released from hospital when she's at least 1.8 kgs going upwards. And also, it's at that particular weight that is a doing BCG. Because again, she cannot leave the hospital without that injection. So, it was quite a journey for us. And then, of course, when we went home over the years, it was, a journey. She was able to at least achieve some milestones, just like any other child, but at least there are those milestones that were a bit delayed. And among the milestones that were delayed was speech. So around in 2020, we were like, hey, mtu amekaa sana na hajaza hata kusema mama kuongea. So we were like, maybe she's an only child, so it's issues of just being alone at home. That's why she's not able to speak. So we decided with her dad that we were going to take her to school. Actually, we made that decision second term anaingia shule. And then what happened in 2020? COVID. So COVID happened, we found ourselves home, our dreams of taking our child to school early to maybe be able to talk now became a dream that we could not achieve then. So what happened after that is we now took her to the pediatrician. Actually, I just taken her for, I think she was not well, so I took her to her doctor. Now I raised that concern, my concern to the doctor. And also she didn't have very good eye contact. She wasn't able to play with other kids. She didn't like to socialize with the child. In most cases, she would just go by a corner, akae kwa hiyo very cold floor. She actually used to like lying on that cold floor. And I think that's where she found her comfort. So with those behaviors, we got concerned, so we asked her doctor about it. So he did a basic sort of diagnosis. Akatuambia we need to take her for some assessment. So he told us twende and give us our contact at Dactions, and we went there. So of course she was taken through this assessment, like an entire day's assessment. The first thing that you're told to do, because she doesn't have speech, is you take her for a hearing test. So that she might not be able to speak because it is we speak from what we hear. So the hearing test turned out okay. And after that, she was told to, she went through that entire day assessment with some doctors and nurses. And after that, we were told that she's autistic. So as a parent, first-time parent, you had quite a long journey with this child, and then you're given that as a problem that your child has. So it becomes, you get to a place, especially as a mother, having gone through all that process. So we took it well. And then we were told now, you need to start speech therapy, you need to start occupational therapy. But before you start the speech therapy, she has to do occupational therapy. And then COVID is here with us. So you can't take that child to a hospital and stay with that child there longer. So I remember the first test we did, the first occupational therapy we undertook at Dactions. It was quite unnerving. So what we did is we decided now because of COVID, we should again be taking her all the way. We live in South B. So every day I would come from job, like I did that twice. Come from work, take her to Dactions, wait for her for like an hour, take her back home. And then that environment, in a hospital environment, and she, all of us tried not to expose ourselves to that environment then. So we decided to have a therapist come home. So she was home with us until I think 2023 or 22, when at least schools were open, we took her to another school where she started now from, it's called Playboy. So my sister had been telling me about Land and Play, even before we started taking her to school. We went to Land and Play, it's a good school because her kids were there. So I took her to that school because it was close at home, Land and Play for Fedha, so it's quite far from where we live. So but after 1 year, we didn't see any improvement in her, even in terms of school. So what we decided to do, so we went to go to Chakaro. So one evening she got to Chakaro, and we actually visited her at her house. And I told her about our daughter, the challenges that we're having in regards to school. And she was like, come to Land and Play. And I really thank you for that opportunity. I remember in our previous school, we still had a speech therapist and an occupational therapist coming home for sessions throughout the week. Like we would have 3 sessions for speech and 2 sessions for occupational therapy. Even at times we would have 6. Because again, you need to give your child that opportunity to be independent, to be able to express herself. And without speech, your child will not be able to express herself. And it was not just about speech, even making friends, playing with other children. You've even seen her here, opposite. And for us, that's a huge achievement. For your child to be able to follow instructions. Like, let's go right, go right. So, Land and Play, in her previous school, we had been told that we needed to, apart from the therapists we are using, that we need to get a shadow teacher. So we had actually gone out to look for a shadow teacher. And a shadow teacher is you're putting a teacher in your payroll, where every month you're paying that teacher 35,000 to 40,000 to shadow your child in class throughout. I really thank Teacher Carol, because the environment that Land and Play has given our daughter, we didn't even have to go for services of a shadow teacher. Teacher Carol gave us a shadow teacher from her school who helped our daughter and used to work with her every single day. Even that shadow teacher still comes home over the weekends after school to just catch up with her. So another thing that Land and Play has done is you see most schools will not give your child that environment to be in class with other kids. Interact with other kids despite the fact that she has her own challenges. And Land and Play took her like any other kid. Because what we were going to do as her parents was to not take her to a school where it's a school for differently abled kids alone. Because you'll not be able to learn what other kids do. So we took her to this school. And again, the number of pupils in her class also helped her teachers also be able to teach her so much. Our daughter right now is able to read. She's able to express herself. She will say, my name is Hazel Wamboy. She knows my name, she knows her dad's name. It's been quite a journey. So the school gave us that. The teachers like Mr. Maria, Mr. Lynette, you're once her teacher, so we really appreciate that. Also Felix, the occupational therapist. Now you remember I had said they used to come home. No, they didn't need to come home because they were coming to school. So now my daughter will have the shadow teacher at school, all her therapists at school with her. So when she comes home now, she just comes and relaxes. And what I'd say from such kids is support. For me, support has been very important. We have a support, especially of the very close people to you, is family. Our siblings, her nephews and nieces, her grandparents, her community. You remember Kitambo used to say a child is raised by a village. The village does not necessarily need to be a very big group. It's just a close group where your children understand her. They're able to understand that she's not able to express herself through speech, and she's also, even at times she'll just point at something, I want this, and the kids will understand that is what she does. I remember there's a time our daughter could not play hide and seek. Kwa sababu saa zingine it's her turn to count, but pia anaenda kujificha. So saa hii she's able to play hide and seek. Time yake ya count atacount mpaka 30 na aende kutafuta wengine. So such small things that you see other kids doing, it's really good to thank God for that. Because when you're on this other side, every small achievement, even your daughter being able to call you mom, dad, is really, really a huge blessing. So I thank you so much, Dr. Carol, and the school. And mine is just to say we have these kids around us, our relatives, our friends. Let's support them. That support system is really, really important to anyone who has a differently abled child. So mine was just to give you the progress of my daughter and to let you appreciate what Learn and Play School has done for her, the teachers and her therapist. Thank you so much.
I'm Margaret Joroge of Mama Talia, a parent here. My story is similar to Mama Boy. I also had a child. I'll not give too much details because of time. A normal child, but at 4 months she changed and started having convulsions that were uncontrollable, which took a lot of time, that damaged her brain, and she ended up with delayed milestones. And we started noticing she's not okay when she was around 2.5, because she didn't catch up with her age mates. And we talked with her neurologist, and he advised us to bring her to school. And for her case, she was very hyperactive. She couldn't stay at one place, she couldn't talk, she couldn't respond to her name. And when the neurologist told us to take her to school, we really didn't know which school, because not all schools actually accept such children. And we really prayed to God to direct us to a school that will accept her. And I remember that day, we were directed elsewhere, but we drove all the way and found ourselves at Learn and Play gates. And I told my husband, let's just go in and just check. And the moment I entered there, the reception we got, I knew that was the place. Because they told us they do accept, because her case was autism level 2, according to the doctors. And when the school told us that they will admit her, we were not very sure, because her condition was not that easy. Even family members, some of them could not handle her. She was all over, her brain was very active. She couldn't settle, she was not got trained. And I remember that day when we admitted her, we really didn't know how to stayed around, because I was sure the school would come and tell me, come for your child, we can't handle her. I thank God that never happened. I was wondering, we might change her, we might for her. She couldn't do all those things, but I can tell you in a week's time, the teacher by then, Teacher Purity, sent us a video of Talia feeding herself, and I couldn't believe it. So it has been a journey. She's now 5 years. She has been on therapy, speech and occupational therapy. We have been consistent, patience, and those who came earlier, I'm sure you have seen her. She's the one who led the third prayer. She can now talk, she's not trained, but I can encourage all the parents who are here, take your time, don't compare your child with anybody. Every child responds differently. Because for my daughter, she called me mommy at 4. You can imagine. Those parents with such children knows what that means. Only then they understand, but I'm sure. And there's a saying that says, even if you're not infected, you're affected. I'm sure you have nieces and nephews, maybe elsewhere, who are the same. I can tell you, love them, support them, accept them the way they are. And another thing I can tell you, don't be misled, because by then I remember some people telling us, no, let your child stay at home, give her time, let her reach at least age 4, she will talk about it. I can tell you, let your child get help. I think the earlier, the better. Don't say so and so did this at 4, at 5, no. If your child has a problem, I can advise you, let them get help very early, I think, until you maximize the help that they need. Thank you to Learn and Play for accepting our child. It's not only a place that accepts, it's a safe place. I know there are so many other places. I've had my friends whose children were bullied. They were just like those, they want numbers. But at Learn and Play, it's not just numbers, it's love. It's a safe place. And Carol, please. My girl is graduating next year, and when I imagine I'm going to look for another place, I get very sad. Please do something. I'm an we need you to have my grandchildren, and the rest will be very happy. Thank you so much.
My name is Jennifer Kioko. I am a born-again Christian, and more important is that Jesus knows my name, and that brings much joy in my heart. This may sound out of context. Wengine watauliza we are not in church, but we are in church. But I believe that I am a vessel that God uses in a special way to fulfill His noble purpose of bringing hope into your families and the whole world at large. I am a wife to my loving husband Sam, and a mother of 2 boys, 10 and 6, and a girl who is 2 years. I am a special needs specialist with a degree in special needs education from SNE University, and I have a master's in speech and language pathology from Kenyatta University. So I am a speech therapist. You may wonder or ask the question why I'm working with beginners, yet my degree program I majored in mathematics and chemistry and Kenyan Sign Language with IT. But the answer is, this is where the foundation is. By helping children overcome speech and language challenges, this can empower them to express themselves, build confidence, and foster meaningful connections with peers, caregivers, and parents. Every small achievement contributes to their overall development, making it an impactful and fulfilling role in shaping their future. For the past 13 years, I've been humbled by witnessing these little angels triumph over their challenges, and this gives me hope. You have heard from Mama Wamboi and from Mama Talia. Those are just but a few. My work involves stimulating speech and language to people or children with speech delay, probably due to certain conditions like autism, spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, cleft palate, stroke, or generally developmental delays. The reason why I have mentioned my family above, it is because I use family-based practices in management of communication challenges with keen reference to evidence-based model. Families which have desire to work hand in hand with therapists, their children overcome these challenges as fast as possible. Since the energy put by the therapists in the therapy sessions, it is replicated at home and in school. This is a rallying call for all of us to support therapists in accelerating our children's path to overcoming their challenges. Our training is deep. For speech and language pathology, it leans mostly on the medical field. That's why we learn so much about the brain and the speech production processes, which are respiratory, phonation, resonance, and articulation. This helps us to know how to handle different children presenting with different symptoms. Every child is unique, their programs are unique, and they are executed uniquely. That said and done, I consult with the Department of Special Needs in different schools. I also work in different hospitals, and I'm privileged to work in Learn and Play. And our department involves an occupational therapist, it involves a special needs teacher, and a speech therapist. It is called Special Needs Education Department. Before enrollment, We conduct screening and assessment. This is to help us establish strengths and weaknesses of the child. We also get to know the child's present level of performance, and also the assessment gives us the ability to know where to place your child when your child comes to school. Note that we in Learn and Play, we don't label children. We don't say autistic Talia. We don't say that. We say Talia with symptoms of autism. Okay? So we work holistically to address their specific needs as a team. Somebody may ask me whether I have encountered challenges in this field. Yes, I have. One of the biggest is the denial by the parents. I know it is a difficult, emotionally draining, physically draining. It is an expensive journey. However, the journey begins with acceptance. The longer it takes to accept and seek help, the more the disservice you're doing to your child. Reason being, early intervention as a window period where you get maximum results, and that is below 7 years. Why? Because of the plasticity of the brain. Brain has things we call hills and valleys, and when the brain is young, you're able to stretch the hills, you're able to stretch the valleys, and you're able to train a child a certain skill when they are young and they are developed, and their brain is developing. So it is my urge to you parents, if you have a child whom you think, because I'm going to give you a few red flags that you're able to observe, and then when you notice these things, you seek help early. I'm going to mention just a few, just a dot. So one of the things that you're able to observe in your child, whether you're an auntie, an uncle, a parent, or whether it is, some of the things you're able to observe are, is the child easily distracted? I know all children are distracted, but we have put the word easily, okay? Does your child pay attention to details? Does he have or she have challenges organizing his toys at home? Unazipata kule, zingine kule, zingine kule. That is okay for almost all children. But does the child use a particular order in arranging them? Kama anaziarrange kwa laini, ama zigzag. Na ukishachukua moja, zile tantrum watatupa hapo, you don't know how to pull them. Those are some of the things we should observe. Does your child request for things in an appropriate way, or he just doesn't know how to wait for turns? He likes grabbing, he doesn't know how to be told wait, to a very big extreme. Does he like climbing excessively on things? Tampata juu ya viti. All children do that. But the word is excessively. Okay? Yeah, so does your child have eye contact? How is the eye contact? Does your child look you in the eye when you are communicating? Do you have any kind of communication with your child? Depending on the level. Is it 1 word, 2 words, 3 words? Depending on the developmental age. I think today was not a day of training. I will get a day to train, and I am done. Thank you.